Hey everybody, and I'm for Spirit of Metal, and we are here in West Hollywood, California with Ted from Death Angel.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
So you guys just played yesterday at the Bay Area, and
Yeah.
that's like your hometown of the band. How was it?
It was great. It was great. That was our third time playing the Fillmore. The two times we played there was with Metallica.
Oh, nice.
And the last night was with Children of Bodom. It was great to always come back to the hometown and play for your family and friends. It was a good show, really good show.
Okay, and like you said, you're touring with Children of Bodom and Tear, and you guys, how does that mix of fans look like?
It's interesting, actually. I mean, it's really good to play in front of people who either one never heard of you or never seen you. Mm-hmm. And you know we're used to playing to going out on tour with, we did the Anthrax Testament tour. It's kind of like a thrash band package, and going out on this tour, it's like seeing whole new faces and getting up on stage. You look at the crowd and you see people's faces like, okay, who are you? And it's really good to see that. And we've been winning people over every night, and that's something we wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for example, yesterday, when you're touring like that with in your hometown, and you have like your family and friends that are living there, do you guys actually have the chance to go say hi, or do you basically have to tell them, come see me at the concert?
It's a bit of both. Some of us, make the time. Mm-hmm. It gets really chaotic when it comes to hometown shows, especially when you're on the road and you're coming through San Francisco, and everyone's like, as soon as the bus stop, everyone splits. They either go home or whatnot. But it's a bit of both. Okay. Some of us make time, some of us don't. But me and Rob actually made some time, and we went home.
Okay. Oh,
after the
nice.
show, got to spend some time at home, and today we flew in.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so 2 years ago I talked to Rob,
Yes.
and you guys did a lot between this during these 2 years. Do you think the highlight was your last album release?
Which album are you talking about? Dream Calls for Blood or Relentless?
The last one.
Relentless.
Yes.
Definitely, that album is there's a lot of highlights for that album. One, it's like leading up to that album, there was lineup changes, and at the point, it's like we didn't know. I personally didn't know if the band was going to continue with losing another two original members, and there was people out there doubting, like, could they still do it without them? So having to write and record that record was like, yeah, we could still do it, and the touring that came after that, we were able to go to places for the first time, South America, Southeast Asia, and all that. There's so many highlights, and having to tour with Anthrax and Testament, Sepultura, Creator, and Exodus. 3 years of touring of that album was like, it went by so fast. Yeah, so that whole album, everything about that album, writing it to the end of that touring cycle was so many highlights in there.
Okay, and well, during these 2 years, you also had you were in a top 100 Billboard.
Oh yeah, last October. Yeah, we were in number 72.
Yeah.
And that's another highlight.
Yeah.
For this album, for the Dream Calls for Blood, that's a highlight to be on the Billboard for 72. And also we were number 4 in Guitar World.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we made number 1 album of the year in Aardschok magazine, Holland.
Nice. So
yeah, I think all that hard work we did for Relentless, we're starting to see the payoff on this album. So we're excited.
Did you ever expect to be in a top 100 in the Billboard?
No, not at all. I mean, first and foremost, we expect to write a good album. We just want to write a good album for ourselves, and once it's released, it's on its own. But the feedback we were getting from the press and the fans were just like so overwhelming, and having to see it chart in the Billboard and Guitar World and getting Album of the Year in certain magazines, and it was just overwhelming.
Nice.
It was like, wow, okay guys, this is great. So I mean, we couldn't be any happier. This album we wrote and recorded, Dream Calls for Blood. It's a lot of hard work went into it. A lot of sacrifices went into it. like I said, touring for Relentless, we did 3 years on that album. You know, and during that album, there's a lot of ups and downs on you know, collectively as a band and individually, we went through a lot of ups and downs, sacrifices, consequences, whatever comes with it, and that's what The Dream Calls for Blood's about, you know. And you know, now that we released that album, it's like you see things starting to pay, you know, some rewards come out of it. Finally, thank you.
And okay, another thing I asked last time was about actually Rob mentioned that you were going to re-release Ultraviolence, and
we did.
You did, yeah. How was that? Were your friends like super excited to be able to find that album again?
Yeah. I mean, the band owns the rights now to the album, so we could release it.
Yeah.
And when we released, I believe in 2012, I believe 2012. We went on tour and played Europe and the States, and we did the album in its entirety, start to finish. So
awesome.
there was people out there who were stoked to see that live and to be able to purchase that album, because I heard, you know, when you buy it on eBay or if you buy it from somebody, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, you know, we still have copies left that we're going to, you know, put on our website and web store soon. Yeah.
So, do you plan to re-release any other album?
There's talk about Frolic Through the Park, just talk. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. Act 3, I have no idea. You know, right now we're just doing it step by step. Right now we just released The Dream Calls for Blood last October. The next step would be the Thrashumentary, which we've been holding off for so long. Then maybe after that we'll look into Frolic Through the Park. So.
But talk about this thing about fans having to go to eBay and finding rare albums.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to like go through that to find an album you really wanted to buy?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't. You know, I try to go to the record store, buy it, or see if iTunes have it. But, you know, there's not many record stores nowadays. You know, there's very few. I mean, when we're in Europe and do the festivals, there's usually like stands where people sell vinyl and CD. I'll sift through them. You know, if I see something that I really, really like that's out of print and that's like the only print, then I'll go buy it. Our drummer usually is sifting through vinyl. First release, I'll buy it, you know.
Nice. Okay, but do you have any collection of any band you follow and you have like the entire discography? Oh,
Metallica is one. You know, I support a lot of the Bay Area, so I have every album from every Bay Area band.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Fear Factory I followed for quite a bit. I still do. Like in metal, it'd be Fear Factory, Machine Head, Metallica, all the Bay Area bands, Testament, even, you know, Forbidden, Violence, you know, all that. And outside of that, no, I haven't. You know, I usually, you know, hear of bands through Will, our drummer, because he follows a lot. But you know, as I was getting older, I started to branch out of metal and started listening to more like, I don't know, non-metal stuff. Like on the last tour, me and Mark were listening to a lot of Adele. Oh, really? We love her, you know, and we listen to some sort of stuff. But just a lot of the stuff that I own front to back would be a lot of Bay Area bands.
Okay. So going back now to the tour. You guys are going to do this tour, and then any other plans for the rest of the year?
Right now, after this, we're gonna go home for a little bit. We're gonna go to Australia and Asia with Creator.
Ooh, nice.
There was talk to go to South America in May, but we may hold off on that for a little bit and save it for the end of the year. And we're in the summer, we're gonna do Europe. Do the festivals and do some headlining shows maybe. But as of right now, we're pretty booked solid until the end of summer. Oh, good.
Okay, now last question, if you have any messages for the Spirit of Metal viewers.
Thank you for all the support. The Dream Calls for Blood is our latest record. I hope you pick it up. It's probably our best work to date, and hope to see everybody on the road. Obrigado.
Oh, de nada. Well, thank you so much, man.
Say what you will.